relationships with Juggernaut, dude. Take it off. You're so bad. Dude, I'm not even talking about you. Shut up. I'm talking about the other team. I'll yell as loud as I want, you stupid cuck. Just let me play. Oh, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, you stupid special snowflake. It's not my fault you probably identify as a taco for all I know.
Dude, what are you talking about out there? You can't be talking to you like that. It's 2K17. You need to respect people's gender identity. Goodness sake. Maybe you should go watch some Buzzfeed videos, you bigot. Educate yourself.
Gee willikers, you know, he's right. I can't keep up this insensitive hate speech. What am I doing? I'm so non-progressive. I gotta fire up the old laptop and watch some Buzzfeed. Alright, what should I look up? Buzzfeed gender identity video. WTF is gender? That seems a little vulgar for my tastes. Let's check out the second one.
I had two friends that were like, "Oh, you're having a boy? Like, I'll teach him how to throw a ball." It's just like, dude, I can throw a ball.
Oh no. Statistics and numbers I will be referring to in this video are provided on screen right now. So if you have any issues with any of the numbers I throw out during this video, you can check out these sources. I use a Wikipedia page, a Washington Post article, and a source from the Wikipedia page. So once again, if you have any issues, please feel free to check these out and see for yourself. Raindrop, drop top. Where are my little stainers at? Right there, at home, watching this video. Thank you so much for joining me once again. Qbake here, and today we're going to be looking at some Buzzfeed videos and examine one of the big problems that I think a lot of people have with it. What it's like to be intersex, what it's like to be asexual, and also what it's like to be a gender non-conforming parent. When looking at the intersex and asexual video, we can see that they were received pretty positively by their respected audiences, with the like to dislike bar having at least 95% likes in both cases. However, when we look at the non-gender conforming parent video, the story is much different. The like-dislike ratio is about 60% likes to 40% dislikes. This video has the most amount of dislikes, however, it is the least watched out of the three. So why is this the case? Now I know there are a lot of videos out there just ripping on Buzzfeed because it's popular and Buzzfeed makes it really easy to do, but I'm actually going to have a point with this, and I'm going to try to describe, like I said, a problem with how Buzzfeed presents its videos and how it pisses a lot of people off. So without any further ado, let's get right into this.
My understanding about gender is that ultimately it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't give you the information about that person that you think that it's going to give you.
Right away we are told that gender is meaningless. According to the Wikipedia page, about 4% of the United States population identifies as LGBTQ. That means for the remaining 96%, their gender probably matches the sex they were assigned at birth. In other words, gender matters to these people. You can learn a lot about these people based on whether or not they identify as male or female. And just because you're in the LGBTQ community doesn't mean your gender doesn't match what you were assigned at birth. I think it's fair to say that most people who are gay identify as male, and most people who are lesbians identify as female. Even transgender people still find value in gender. Just because their gender might not match what they were given at birth doesn't mean they think it's useless. Is there not a reason most people who are transgender want sex reconfiguration surgery? They want their outside expression to match their identity on the inside. When you're talking about people who don't conform to their assigned gender, and gender would not be a means to accurately describe them, you're talking about a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of the LGBTQ community. So in this case, what you're saying is wrong. You are wrong. Now, while I'm sure this couple agrees strongly with what they're saying, I don't think we can judge them too harshly because we don't know what was asked and said before or after this statement. Now, I'm sure Buzzfeed interviewed them for a while and just picked the pieces that would work best for their message of, don't be a gender-conforming parent. So I think it's important to notice that Buzzfeed is probably manipulating them to a point.
Next clip.
We'll ask you, do you want to have a boy or a girl? For whatever that means, because this person could be anybody. You hear that right away. You hear like boys are like this and girls are like that.
Once again, when you're talking about someone who is gender non-conforming or whose gender doesn't accurately describe them, you're talking about an extremely small minority of the population. And yes, while it may be true that these two maybe surround themselves with a group of people that have the same ideology, so within that group, what they're saying makes sense, outside of that group, a lot of people are going to disagree. This is by definition not normal to say something like, boy and girl, it doesn't matter, it doesn't mean anything. A lot of people aren't going to understand that and they're going to get frustrated by it. I mean, you have to know that your way of thinking is vastly different from the majority of people. You have to know that. But I'm sure in the comments of this video, I'm going to be the one told that I'm closed-minded and intolerant.
Next clip.
Oh God, like what if he wants to play sports? And
Oh God, like what if he wants to...
What is wrong with you?
I'm constantly trying to like queer my relationship with him and get him to wear tutus. He hates it. Like he's just like, no.
So I think a lot of people will argue that sexual orientation is something you're born with, and I'm not trying to dispute that, but I have heard claims that say the science points to it being more nature and nurture and even split rather than just nature. Now, I've never actually seen a source or like a scientific article stating this, so I can't comment on the validity of it. But just for a hypothetical situation, let's say it's true. Is what she's doing not messed up? I think people get mad enough already when you try pushing your political beliefs or your religious beliefs on a child, but those can be changed as the child gets older. Sexual orientation is something that you really can't change. And if there's any inkling of truth of nurture affecting the child, is this not crazy? You say that you want him to be whoever he wants to be, but you're trying to queer up your relationship, make him wear tutus when he hates it? And I'm sure some people say, Qbake, how can you get mad at these people for just trying to push their queer beliefs on your children and not get mad at normal parents for trying to push their heteronormativity on their kids? Isn't it a double standard? That's because there is a double standard. 96% of the United States population is straight and cisgender, so it makes sense for them to just assume their kids are going to be like that, because a lot of the times that is what's going to happen. Once again, I'm not trying to say that if someone has a different sexual orientation, it's wrong, or that a parent shouldn't be able to support a child with a different sexual orientation. All I'm saying is, in this circumstance, the child obviously doesn't like what the mother is doing. He's not about her trying to queer up the relationship. And when she says she's accepting of her child, yet trying to push her beliefs on him when he doesn't want it, and there's a possibility of it affecting his own sexual orientation, that's when I have a problem with it.
He's taking in kind of kid media, and he has this great book that's like just pictures and words, but when you open it up, it's like a picture of a girl and a picture of a boy, and it's like girl, boy. I'm just like, child, child. Why is Old MacDonald like a guy? Why couldn't it be the lesbian farmer?
Everybody needs to be reconsidering the way that they're presenting gender to their kids. He needs to understand the variety of genders that are out there so he can be a respectful human being in the world.
I don't know how much more of this I can take.
Sometimes the best thing to do feels like to be constantly challenging, and then sometimes it's almost just to ignore gender completely.
What?
Cisgendered male, and he needs to understand the variety of genders that are out there so he can be a respectful human being in the world.
Shut up. Shut up!
Everybody needs to be reconsidering the way that they're presenting gender to their kids.
Get out of my head. Get out of my head. Get out of my head.
Picture of a girl and a picture of a boy and then a girl.
Get out of my head.
I'm just like, child, child. Like, why is Old MacDonald like a guy? Why couldn't it be a lesbian farmer? Like, why is Old MacDonald like to be a challenge? Why couldn't it be a lesbian farmer? It's every. Why is Old MacDonald like to be a challenge? Why couldn't it be a lesbian
that's enough of that video. But I think this is the problem that a lot of people have with Buzzfeed and how it presents its videos. When you look at the asexual video and the intersex video, it is simply giving a voice to people in the LGBTQ community who might not otherwise be heard. Like, however, this video, it doesn't quite do that. It makes people who disagrees with this ideology seem bigoted, closed-minded, and intolerant. People who think there are only two genders, or people who think people who think that you should teach if someone looks this way, they're a boy, and someone who looks this way, they're a girl. These people don't understand how small of a group they are. And I'm not saying we shouldn't respect them. Of course we should respect them. But this is about them pushing their ideology on people who, are them pushing their ideology and saying you are a bad person if you do not agree with it. And that is why so many people hate Buzzfeed. So all in all, I think the main problem with Buzzfeed is that it tries to normalize behaviors that are by definition not normal. Like, for example, in this video, trying to say that as a society we should change our views to help a group of people that is significantly smaller than the vast majority. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been a Qbake exclusive. I hope you all enjoyed it. Make sure to leave a like and a comment telling me how I'm just a cisgender white male who doesn't know anything and I'm a bigot. Thank you. Have a great day.